know for a fact that you're having thoughts. You had thoughts, you're having thoughts, and you will have thoughts that you don't want to have. I know that. I know you struggle against your own negativity. You struggle against your own fears. You struggle against your guilt. You struggle against your worry. You're struggling against so many of these internal states. It's a big struggle. And you're just not able to escape the thought. You don't want to have that worry. You don't want to have that feeling. Say you feel jealous. Wife seems to be laughing at a guy's jokes too much. But you know nothing's going on, but you're jealous. You don't want to feel jealous. But you can't stop yourself. You don't want to have that. So you can't stop it. You feel struggle, temptation. You've been smoking for 10 years, 20 years, and you shouldn't have that cigarette, but you're just thinking about it. The longer you stay away from the cigarette, you're having this thought, I want a cigarette. Oh, I want it. I'm dying for a cigarette. You're having that thought about the cigarette. You tell yourself, don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. What are you thinking about? Cigarettes. That's how it works. You know that you gave your keys to your wife in the morning, and she said to you, you didn't give them to me. What'd you do? You didn't give me the keys. You always forget to give it to me. You're getting very forgetful. You go, I know I gave it to her. But you want to say something. You don't want to aggravate it. You don't want to make it worse. You walk away. I know I gave it. I gave her the keys. I just thought I can prove it because I took her off my belt, my chain belt that I had with a key, and I handed it to her. We were right in the kitchen. I gotta go tell her. You don't want to tell her. So you're getting the thoughts, I was right. I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, that's big. I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, your boss at work says, hey, you made a mistake here. I didn't. I said, yes, you did. And don't do it again. Well, you don't want to keep challenging the guy. You walk away and say, I didn't make that mistake. And you can't get it off your mind. You go home and think, gee, boss keeps thinking I'm making mistakes that I'm not making. I'm home. I don't want to keep thinking about this. Your significant other, your partner says, your wife says, hey, you just seem absent. I'm talking to you, not even listening to me. You say, I know, I'm sorry. I just can't get this thing off my mind. The boss said I made this mistake. I know I didn't. In fact, it was Joe. Joe made it seem like it was me. And you can't get it off your mind. Your kids are talking to you, you're not paying attention. You can't get the thought out of your mind. You're struggling against it, but you just can't get it out of your mind. In fact, the harder you try, the stronger it gets. I know you have these struggles. We all do. The biggest struggle is against our own ego or our own pride. Said, I'm wrong. I'm never wrong at this. I know what I'm doing when it comes to this field. Your pride comes up, your ego. You walk around thinking, how would he say I'm wrong? I was right. I can prove I was right. And you think I could have said this, I should have said that. You're struggling against your ego, against your pride. Instead of just saying, yeah, he thought I made a mistake. I didn't. No big deal, whatever. And go on with your life. Most people can't do that. Can't do it. Life is a struggle against our own egos, against our pride. People think, life is a struggle to survive, to pay my bills, to deal with legal situations, to deal with medical issues. Yeah, those struggles are real. But they come and go. They come and that's not your biggest struggle. It's not. Your biggest struggle is dealing with your own negativity. That's a fact. It's been found that 80% of people's thoughts are negative. A massive study at the University of Maryland. And 95% of those thoughts are ones that keep repeating themselves. I know you're struggling against your own negativity all the time. And you're getting tired of it. How do I be okay with not being okay? I'm not okay, but I don't want to tell anybody I'm not okay. What makes it worse? You think you're the only one. I don't see anybody else struggling. I don't remember seeing my parents struggle. Brothers and sisters don't seem to be struggling. My friends aren't. My teachers aren't. I'm struggling. Wrong with just not normal. I may look normal, but normal. I've got all these struggles going on. And I'm suffering. It's different than everybody. I wish I could be like the rest of the people around me. I wish I could be like them. Look at them. He's smiling. He's laughing. He's having a good time. Really? When I was younger, I would have believed that. I'm 84 years old now. My name is Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. I'm a clinical psychologist, licensed to practice in the state of California since 1974. Been doing this for over 50 years. Now, you know who escapes the struggle of life? People in the cemetery. In the cemetery, they don't have the struggle of life. Anybody walking upright, walking on this earth, those are the ones that struggle. All the trillions that are buried in the ground, they don't have the struggle. Just the living. Every living creature, tree, plant, animal, insect, human, struggle. And it's not a bad. For us humans, it's a gift. I know you don't think of it that way. But without struggle and the suffering that goes with that, it's impossible to achieve wisdom. Impossible. That struggle, that suffering, is a requirement to achieve wisdom. And how you can have compassion for somebody if you've never suffered? We've always been being laughing and smiling, having a good time, and this guy's crying and miserable and depressed and anxious and having a panic attack. You cannot identify with him. It's impossible. You haven't suffered. I have a lot of empathy for all the beautiful, wonderful patients that I see. And I can identify with them. I see in their imperfections my own imperfections. I see in them their struggles, have been my struggles, or are my struggles. All things human that I see in them, I see in me. The outer circumstance might be a little different, but we're all going through it. When people ask me how I'm doing, I don't say good, fine. No. I say I'm good. I'm bad. I'm happy. Sad. I'm at peace, but I struggle. All things human. And when I tell that to people, even if they're just people I like to chat and say, keep it light, I see a relief. Thank God I don't have to pretend that I'm doing so great. Yeah, that's honest. Because otherwise, if you say, how you doing? They go, oh, great, wonderful, how about you? And they don't really want me doing that. They don't want to go into a long liturgy of all the things wrong. So that's why I come with this little thing. I'm good, I'm bad, I'm happy, I'm sad. I'm at peace, I struggle, but I struggle. I'm all things human. And so, I'm not saying you can ever become completely at peace with struggling and with the suffering that goes with that. But we can speak light into that darkness. And we look at it as a gift. One of the commands of honor is this. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. Now, there's some derivatives of that. One is, God, I'm extremely grateful for the gift of trials and tribulations that bring me closer to you. I'm extremely grateful for the gift of trials and tribulations that bring me closer to you. Because this struggle that we have serves a number of functions in terms of developing wisdom, compassion, and realizing that we're not enough. The human spirit is powerful, But the Holy Spirit's even more powerful. It makes us more receptive to our divine nature. That's where we turn to prayer. We turn to seeking something stronger than ourselves, because you know you're not enough to deal with it. You know it. I know I'm not. No doubt about it. You know, if we didn't struggle, you know what people would think? Well, would think we're God. Well, we didn't struggle. Just be God. It's so easy. I mean, everything. Yeah, I'm God. So, struggling keeps us humble. Struggling and the suffering that goes with it convinces us that we're not God. Keeps us humble. Because the ego, pride that we have in the ego, could just expand out and go, whoa, I'm the greatest. Nothing bothers me. Or I'm enlightened. I've achieved nirvana. So you're gaining wisdom, compassion, humility through these struggles. And one of the questions, one of the derivatives of the command of honor is, what's the best true story I can tell myself about this struggle? What's the best true story I can tell myself about this struggle? And you will find something good. The negativity is real, but so is the gain. So when we talk about the struggle and the hardship and the suffering, that's real. There's no sugarcoating it. It's real. But so is the gain. So is the benefit that comes from it. So to just talk about the struggle, the suffering, typically involves loss, does not negate the gain, just as the gain does not negate the loss and the suffering. So the full story is, well, there's something positive at the other side of that. What's the best true story I can tell myself about this struggle? It's one of the derivatives of what I call the warrior command of honor, which is, I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. Wisdom, compassion, humility. It's a lot, plus more. But those are just some of the universal ones, and there'll be others that come as well. Thus, they make us stronger in so many ways. When you've suffered enough and you've struggled enough, guess what happens? You can be amused by it. Going through this again, you can actually start laughing at it. When the first time you go into a struggling and with whatever, it's pretty very serious. Oh, it is serious. You go through it enough times and you go, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. So one of the great achievements that it will lead to is transcendence. Transcendence to a higher level of consciousness, where you're above it. You're in the struggle and you're above it. That is a great blessing, a great bounty, great benefit, a very positive dimension to struggling, to suffering. So many wonderful treasures. Wisdom is a great treasure. Great treasure. Compassion. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, we speak light into the darkness. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm the only one doing this. I'm so lost in this struggle, suffering in it. And you realize no one escapes the struggles of life. There is a solution. So that's the title of today's presentation. No one escapes the struggles of life. There is a solution. So I'm giving you a solution, and I'm showing you how universal the struggle is. You know what I hear from so many of my beautiful, wonderful, lovely, intelligent people that I see who are in our audience? They say, oh, I love the Zoom calls that we have. I like the lecture you give. I love hearing from the other people, because when I hear from them, I could see I'm not alone. Not alone. We're all going through this. So my intention with you is to normalize the human experience. That's when people say, how you doing? I say, all things human. I'm trying to normalize that for you because no one told us. No one told us the struggle is normal. No one told me. No one. And I had beautiful, wonderful parents. I did. Never told me. I guess maybe they were trying to protect me from, well, you can't protect anybody from it. Yeah, it's coming. No one told us that to struggle is the human condition. And I'm telling that to you. Tell your children, your nieces, your nephews. Tell it to anybody you can, because the people you know, they're struggling. And they think it's normal. They think, heck, you think it's abnormal when you're in your struggle. When you say to somebody, how you doing? They're not going to say, I'm struggling, but God willing, I'll come back stronger than ever. They're not going to say, oh, I'm good. Are you struggling? Who? Be struggling. I don't struggle. In other words, if I struggle, I'm a failure. If I struggle, I lose the happiness contest. Yeah, there's a contest. I lose the happiness contest. Because if I struggle, you don't, and you're cool, and I'm not cool, well, I'm going to be cool like you. But yeah, I'm good. It's all cool, brother. It's a lie. It's a cover-up. And I'm here to tell you this because I want you to feel normal in your struggles. And how many times we fail in our struggles. We struggle against our ego, we lose. We struggle against our pride, and we lose. We struggle, whatever, we lose. We fall down, but we rise again. We step up again, because there is a nobility within the human being, within the human heart. We are noble creatures. We will rise up to deal honorably with what life presents us to us. That's inborn in any normal human being. So we want to arise and deal honorably with it. You know, if you see somebody who's a multi-billionaire, you say, let's say his father gave him $20 billion, now he's worth $10 billion. Well, you say, but you didn't know he gave $20 billion, so you don't know the guy's a failure. He lost $10 billion. His father gave him $20 billion, he's only worth $10 billion. He's a failure. But you look at him and say, look at his mansions, his house, and his cars. You admire him. What's to admire? The guy that's a failure, but you didn't know that. Let's say you found out it was given to him. You go, hey, he was given that money. The admiration goes down. But then you find somebody who grew up homeless on the streets. You find through struggling and discipline, he made billions in an honorable way on a good product or a good service. Go. That's awesome. You rose from nothing to become somebody. Struggle is the greatness. That's another thing. Without the struggle, you cannot achieve greatness. You cannot. And that's why we can't judge somebody. I'll tell you what. Let's say you see a homeless guy on the street laying in his own vomit and urine in the street. You go, oh, how disgusting. But that might be the greatest human being in the world. You know why? What if you knew that guy was beaten and tortured every day of his life growing up for the first 10 years of life, and that he's drinking this way just so he doesn't kill you? Staying drunk. Staying his vomit in urine so he doesn't kill you. Because he's got such a rage. Well, that might be the greatest man, just not killing somebody. Go, I don't know. It's not certain. He's protecting us from himself. So that's why we can't judge. We don't know what the struggle was. We don't know what the beginning was. We all respect man or woman that struggled and arose to success spiritually, emotionally, materially. We all respect that. We do. The Rocky story. With Stallone in it. I mean, what was the greatest? The guy rose from nothing, a guy on the street. He trained, he disciplined, he took the punishment, and he became a world champion. It was fiction, but that's kind of an archetype of the struggle. You have to respect me. He came from nothing. And we have a lot of stories like that. America, the land of opportunity. A lot of people rose up from nothing. Maybe they're immigrants or immigrant families, or they're born here with nothing and made something, so made a valuable contribution to the advancement of civilization. It's within the struggle. Here's something I want to tell you. Enshrine within your deepest struggle. Enshrine within your deepest struggle is the seed of your nobility, your dignity, and your legacy. Enshrine within your deepest struggle is the seed of your nobility, your dignity, and your legacy. Legacy is contained within your struggle. If you were to make a video or write a book about your life, your memoirs, it's meaningless unless you talk about your struggle. You say, I achieved this, I achieved that, I achieved the other thing. Well, all right, nice. Well, who cares? But you say, I struggled with this, I failed, I had setbacks, I got depressed, rose up, I kept going. Now, I'll tell you something else about struggle, and particularly about sharing your struggle. If you don't know another person's struggle, another man's struggle, another woman's struggle, guess what? You don't know the person. And if somebody doesn't know your struggle, they don't know you. They don't know you. They just don't know you. Because we're defined by the struggle and how we arose to deal with it. We're defined by, that's the definition of who we are. And that's the thing people want to hide because they think struggle is abnormal. It's not abnormal. It's the source of our greatness, source of your greatness. The source of your greatness is that you do struggle and that you do arise and deal with it. Even if you fall down again, you're still rising to deal with it. That's your greatness. It's contained within your struggle. Again, if you were to write your memoirs and make a video about your life, or you're being interviewed about your life, if you don't talk about your struggles, they don't know you. You take some of the great leaders of our country, George Washington, who said, well, he was the first president, he did these great things. Well, that's great, but if you didn't know the guy, wow, he did some great things, did some things that weren't so great, but you don't know his struggles. Well, you know him. It's a name, it's a statue. It's a couple of paragraphs of a book, whole book, a few paragraphs of the book. You don't know him. Why? Because nobody told you the struggles he had. You can't really write a biography or an autobiography, really, unless you talk about the struggles. Otherwise, it's just very superficial and nobody can identify with it. We identify with one another's struggles. We identify mostly with the imperfections and the struggles in one another. If somebody's perfect, you don't identify with them. It's perfect. You don't feel any connection. This guy suffers and he struggles. You're like me. I can feel you, bro. I know you can feel me. Because it's struggle. I just want to show you how valuable. So when I say the solution, I'm giving you the solution. I'm giving you an attitude towards your own struggle to transform how you see it. I'm not saying you're going to be comfortable struggling. I'm not saying you're going to be totally at peace with the struggle. It's not a peaceful thing. Struggling, by definition, is not peaceful. But your perspective on it is the solution. You could see it for what it is, a gift to bring out your perfections, to help develop you, to help develop your virtue. For those who believe in God, we see it as a way of bringing us closer to God. So I want to congratulate you on your struggles. I want to congratulate you on your defeats in those struggles. I congratulate you on that. And I congratulate you knowing that you rise back up, you take it on again. I congratulate you on that. I respect you. That's what respect's about. How do you respect somebody without knowing the struggle? You say, this guy's got everything in the world. You might admire him, but you can't say you respect somebody because they rose up from the ashes, from failure, from setback. They rose up and they made progress. They may not totally achieve the goal, or they may have achieved it. I respect you. So struggle and knowing each other's struggle source of our greatness, the source of our legacy, and the source of respecting one another, and the source of knowing one another. You don't know me if you don't know my struggle. I don't know you. I don't know your struggle. I started with my sessions with my wonderful, beautiful patients. I say, you know what? I want to know you really well. Please share with me your vulnerability and your struggles. Because I know if I don't know your struggles, not only won't I know you, but you can't even feel like I know you. See, to feel known, you have to feel a person knows your struggle, how you've dealt with it, your victories and your failures at it. Then you feel, well, this person knows me. That's intimate. That person knows me. It's powerful. That person knows me. The person who doesn't know you, if he doesn't know your struggle, he said, well, he doesn't. He may know my favorite color, but he doesn't know me. Because you're defined by your struggle and how you deal with it. Well, it's my pleasure to present to you, no one escapes the struggles of life. There is a solution. Now I'm going to open it up to our wonderful audience, wonderful, beautiful human beings I have the privilege of serving, getting to know. And keep in mind that when you speak, people get as much or more out of it than when I speak, because when they hear you, they feel they're part of a wonderful community. They feel less alone in what they're going through in life. So I'm going to open it up now for your comments and your questions.
Hey, Dr. Nerenberg, this is John.
John, always good to hear from you, John. Very much so.
You as well, sir. I definitely enjoyed this talk this evening because for me, I know that I've been struggling for about 20 years. And I knew there was always something there, but I'm actually grateful for the struggle, because if I wouldn't have had the struggle, I wouldn't be here getting better every day with new tools and new ways to defeat those struggles.
John, that's the attitude that I want everybody to have. It brought you to the way of honor, brought you to the honor movement.
Yes, sir.
I would say that, 20 years of struggling. You hear that, everybody? John, I just met with him earlier today. He's an amazing guy. If you saw him, you wouldn't know he struggled for 20 years. Now you just found out John struggled for 20. That's a long time. Wasn't a day, wasn't 2 days, wasn't a week. 20 years. 20 years. And now, John struggled for 20 years, and he's making progress by becoming an ambassador of honor and following the way of honor. John, thank you for sharing that. 20 years. That's, you're most welcome. I remember I had one struggle that went on for 50 years. People have struggles a day, 2 days, a month, a week, a decade, 5 decades, whatever. This is the human condition. And I'm so thrilled that I have the opportunity to tell you this, because nobody told me. And I really had no idea this was going on. None. I think we're Disney. I thought it was Disneyland. I thought, everybody lives happily ever after. No, I never saw a Disney movie where people are struggling too much. So I want to tell you this. It's my privilege to tell you this, and my responsibility to tell you this. Who else has something you'd like to ask or say?
Sort of.
Is that Juan?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, Juan. Always good to hear from you, brother.
You too, brother. The struggle is that we have a lot is not having the willpower to say no. I know it's hard for a lot of people to go through that, but if you can just walk away and see something like, let's say it's a cookie or something that you want to stay away from sweets, and just like looking at it and just walking away.
Hey, a person starts walking away and goes, you know what? I just take one bite, just take a little half of it. They go, I just take a half. Goes back, takes a half, walks away. No, that was pretty good. Finish it. I'll start going off it tomorrow. That's a lot of what happens. But saying no is good and doing it. But
exactly.
But that's the struggle. That's the struggle.
That's the hard part about getting that taste and into your taste buds and stuff, and then wanting more like it's like just say no and I'm gonna walk away.
That's the
hard part.
It's a struggle not to destroy us. So to give you an example along the lines that you're saying, I've told this story before. Hugh gets tired of hearing it, but it's a good story. So I'm at a cafe where I'm sitting outdoors. I'm talking to this guy at the next table. He's with his 4 or 5 kids. He's telling me he has diabetes. His blood sugar goes to 300. Diabetes is very serious. You get your legs amputated. You go blind. You get kidney failure, heart attack, cancer. It's a pretty serious illness. So then the food starts coming. I see he gets this big stack of pancakes, made with white flour, which just turns into glucose. There's no difference between that and sugar. Then he drowns it with syrup. He drowns it with syrup. He drowns it with syrup. Sugar. He basically just taking sugar. I'm looking at him. I say, hey, bro, I don't want to put my nose in your business, but you just tell me I have diabetes? And he said this. He says, I know I shouldn't, but I just can't stop myself. He went and ate it. Afterwards, when he and his kids were leaving, one of his sons came over and hugged me and said, thanks for trying to help my dad. He said, he says, he just can't overcome it. And it was killing the guy. His blood sugar would go 300. And that's anything over 100 is considered abnormal. Optimal is 75 to 85. I mean, 300 is dangerous. But he was saying I owe the guy money because I've told this story so much. But he lost the struggle against himself. But saying no. But I'll tell you the secret about temptation. People don't know this. I'm going to tell you something you don't know. Say, guy's really addicted to smoking. He's been smoking 30 years. So he hires a mafioso guy to follow him around, this guy Tony, to keep a 45 points at his head at all times. And the arrangement is he pays him, says, if I so much as touch a cigarette, just blow my brains out. I said, all right. And you can't get away from Tony. You go to the toilet, you're in there, he's got the gun right at your head. You can't say, hey, Tony, go get me a pizza. No, Tony's not going to get you a pizza. He's got the gun right to your head. Now, if you're convinced 100%, not 99%, 100%, that Tony will blow your brains out if you touch the cigarette, guess what? Not only won't you touch the cigarette, you won't even be tempted. Temptation only comes because we look at it as an option. Once it's really not an option, there's no problem. It's considered the option that the struggle comes in. But it's a very good point you brought up about the cookie. Thank you for that one.
You're welcome, Doc. It's like what you're saying, is it worth to touch that cigarette than keeping your life?
I tell you, if he doesn't have Tony walking around with a 45 at his head, it's very hard to stop the guy. Or if he thinks he can get Tony to go get him a pizza and he lights up and takes some hits, yeah, he'll do it. But now if he knows for certain that his brains are blown out if he so much as touches a cigarette, there's no doubt in his mind about that. Believe me, he will not touch it and he won't even be tempted. So as long as it's an option where you think you can get away with it, so people think they get away with it. I can do this. You know, I just smoke a cigarette once in a while. On birthdays, it's like saying I just shoot myself in the foot on special occasions. But it's your birthday. Once a blue moon. But that special occasion starts coming up 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah, it's this guy's birthday. It's his anniversary. He got a dog. This guy got a promotion. I light up. I mean, a lot of ways to justify destroying ourselves. So there is, look, this supermarket, the foods are death foods. Look what people put in their carts. It's hot dogs, Twinkies, vodka. A little bit of vodka, even a little bit of alcohol is known to cause cancer. It's death foods mostly. And the people know it. So they want to live. They want to enjoy themselves. There's a struggle. I want enjoyment. I want to enjoy my life. You only live once. Yeah, but I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to destroy myself. Yeah, but just today, special occasion. That's how it goes. The struggle between our own life and death impulses. I told this story. My father was of blessed memory, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man in so many ways. But he kept eating, getting bigger and bigger. I said, Dad, you're killing yourself. And he said to me, son, I guess it's a death wish. And my father said, I guess it's a death wish. And 1 year later, he was dead. Unconscious death wish. He was gone. He couldn't stop himself from eating that stuff. So that's the story, the struggle between the life impulse and the death impulse. Who else has something you want to ask or say?
Hey, Dr. Nerenberg, it's Claudia.
Oh, Claudia. Oh, Claudia, you sent such amazing text. You're such a deep, I call you an emotional genius. You know that.
Thank you, Doctor. Well, I just want to say that I'm grateful for this community and for you and, being able to just recite my commands every day. And truly, I have taken to heart I'm grateful for the power gained from hardship and choosing myself to, you've given me a ladder, right? To not choosing misery for myself and self-sabotage myself with the thoughts of being a victim and surviving the pain that we all go through. And it's a God-sent process that I'm going through right now, but with your program and really trying to look inside. And like I said to you through the message is it forces us to look inside and say, who am I without this pain, without the shame, without the guilt, right? Because we can have this cop-out all of our lives and say, life's not fair to me. I'm struggling. I'm in pain. I'm this, I'm that. But we're getting out of it as long as we're putting the work in. And it's not going to be easy. And I say it's not easy for me, but I'm not going to allow myself to continue to get stuck in these lowered expectations for myself, right? And remove that shame and the fear and self-sabotage repeatedly because this program's making me face myself.
I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality, my problems, one of the commands of honor. So that helps remove us from victimhood. 99.9% of the time, we've co-created. A little bit, once in a while, if somebody gets a drive-by shooting and gets killed, well, he's a victim. But mostly we're co-creating. We either started the issue or we've added to the issue. And that's an empowering thing. I've co-created it. I apologize for that. I'm not going to do it again. And so I'm creating a better future because it's in my power to do that. So I know that's what you're talking about, Claudia. And I have nothing. I'm so proud of you, Claudia, and I have so much respect for you. And when you send me those texts that you send, they're so profound. I mean, where we start defining ourselves by the pain we have. You sent that to me, the text. It was so true. We're so used to pain, we define ourselves by that pain. Without that pain, who are we? That was a wow statement, and I totally agree with you. Thank you for everything, Claudia.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah.
I got something I want to say, Doc. How you
Jerry,
doing?
I'm all things human. Thank you for asking.
Good. I'm bad. I'm happy. I'm sad.
That's the rest.
By the way, if anybody wants to hire me to be their Tony, I'll follow you around and slap you around when you need a slap in the back of the head. I'm just kidding.
Oh, really?
But what I want to say is the struggle, right? The struggle is very real, and it's going to last as long as you let it. As long as we let it happen to us, like, it's going to keep happening. And, it's not a direct quote, but, they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Like, we all have negative thoughts. It's 100%. We all have them. We all have trauma. We've been through things. Everybody, childhood trauma, this trauma, relationship, toxic relationship, whatever it is. Okay, now what? Now what? Because that's not going away. Like, whatever happened to me, whatever happened to you, whatever happened to your brother, your sister, whoever, mom, dad, it's not going away. It happened. And at some point, we have to stop being the victim to the things that happen to us and letting it tell us what we're going to do today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, and so on and so forth. Like, the struggle is very real. Sometimes it's hard just to get up out of bed. Sometimes it's hard just to get dressed. And you're looking at yourself like, what am I doing? And why am I doing this? I'm just wasting my time. And you know what? You're right. You're 100% wasting your time. You're right. But you have to at some point decide, okay, do I want to keep wasting my time? If so, then cool, do it. And do it gladly. Do it happily. you know what? I'm not wasting my time anymore. I want to sit here and do nothing, and I'm going to be happy about it. Or find an adventure. Do something. Remember when we were kids and there was something that you looked forward to, whether it was learning how to play an instrument or getting home to read a book or something that you were excited about, right? Painting, whatever it is, something, going to the beach, whatever, skateboarding, something that you were excited about. You went and you got that thing, and you know you did. You know you did because you were excited about it. You wanted it, and nothing was going to stop you. So you got to find something new, a new adventure, because the struggle is going to keep coming, but nothing's going to stop you from getting after that adventure, whatever it is. You know, some people call it a why. Find your why. Whatever that why is, go out and get it. And you know what? The hardest part about climbing Mount Everest is the first step. That's it. After that, just one more.
Well, you know, Jerry, there's so much wisdom. That's very eloquent. There's so much sincerity and meaning and power in what you said, the way you said it and the exact wording. And that's because it was filled with truth. And it was the truth that you spoke that all of us experience, every one of us. So it could be, an activity is good, reciting certain thoughts. Like I say, you're struggling against your anger. You don't want to be angry at this person. You're really ticked. You can recite you can speak light into the darkness. I wish you well. I wish you well, my brother. I really do. I wish you well. So that wishing well doesn't make the anger go away, but it changes the quality of it. So you're struggling against your anger. I shouldn't be angry. I don't want to be angry. I'm really ticked off. I wish you well. So you balance it. You can't help. A lot of thoughts that come into your mind, you can't help them. They don't define who you are. It's based on your genetics, family upbringing, societal norms. Two types of thoughts, the one that just pop in your mind that way and the ones you choose. You can balance it with I wish you well or what's the best true story I can tell myself about this struggle. Those are things, by choice, we can do that. A lot of the thoughts you have, you're not going to be able to make them go away. You're not going to be able to stop them from coming. All you can do is balance it with a constructive, positive, honorable thought, which is really the way we speak a little bit of light into the darkness. Keith, thank you so much for that, Jerry. That's beautiful.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the community.
Yes.
Without the community, I wouldn't be here. So thank you very much for giving us an audience, a place to be. Thank you.
You know, thank you. You know, a lot of people look forward to Tuesday nights. I look forward to it a lot myself. A lot of people tell me, I look forward to Tuesday evenings when we all get together.
Hi, Dr. Nerenberg. I wanted to chime in because I was thinking the same thoughts like Jerry was about the struggle is real. And I came up with a little inspirational quote.
You're
that I just came up with.
Creative Gisela.
So I'm just going to share it with everybody just to see if it helps anybody. So the struggle is real, but always remember that you are a big deal in this lifetime. We will overcome and arise to a better version of ourselves. So the struggle is real, but you are a big deal.
You know, and that kind of rhymes, and that makes a lot of sense. The struggle is real, but so are you. Your nobility is real. Here's the thing. Your nobility is real. You know, people pretend to be better than they are. You know what the irony is? I tell people this. You're far greater than you pretend to be. You're far greater than you pretend to be. You pretend you don't have a struggle, like you've got it all together, but you're even far greater than that. You're such a noble being. So whatever you pretend to be, you're more than that, really, in reality. Don't sell yourself short by pretending to be something you're not. People pretend they're not struggling. No, don't do that. You don't have to go into lay out all your details and all your problems. But if ever you do go into your struggle, be sure to add this. I hope to come back stronger than ever. Or I will come back much stronger than ever. That is a dignity and where people don't feel overwhelmed by your problem. Oh, I will come back much stronger than ever. That gives a dignity. It's all right to share your struggle as long as you end it with, but I will come back much stronger than ever. This is good for me. I don't like it, but it's good for me. Thank you, Gisela, creative Gisela. We have that mutual inspiration and of kind of inspiring each other to do these things. Thank you, Gisela.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. The thing you want to say to yourself, I would say it 3 times a day because nobody's saying it. You want to say 3 words. Struggle is normal. Struggle is normal. Struggle is normal. That means you're not alone in it. Struggle is normal. It's a simple truth, but it's a revolution in thinking. Why is it a revolution? Because right now people think struggle is abnormal. They think struggle is pathological. They think struggle makes them different than everybody else. Struggle causes a sense of otherness because I struggle and you don't. Struggle is normal. And I'll be reciting that to yourself till you get the idea. It takes a while. Tony, please speak.
Oh, yeah. Doctor, I'm sorry I missed the last session on last Tuesday. I just want to apologize because I was in a car accident.
Oh, gee, I'm glad to see you're okay. You look fine.
Yeah, I was fine. It's just like somebody, like semi pushes out of the road.
Wow, look at you. You're still here.
Thank
God.
Driving, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I just got a bruised ribs and my shoulder and stuff like that. No big deal, but I couldn't go to.
Well, I like your attitude. No big deal. You got pushed by a semi off the road. That's a good. I like your attitude. What is it you like to ask or say today?
Yeah, but everything's okay. No, thank you. One thing, you're right about struggles. Yeah, we all got to go struggles in life, of course, day by day, and we gotta deal with them. And you got to try to do the best that we can with the struggles. And some struggles are very hard. Some are kind of manageable, and we got to go through it. Like for example, New Year's Eve was kind of funny because we're supposed to have a good time with the New Year's Eve and stuff like that. Everybody got sick with the flu by the house. Just suddenly, oh my God, everybody's sick. I was supposed to have family over, but they couldn't because everybody was sick. And they say, okay, I get it. That's okay.
That's definitely what life's about. Supposed to be having a good time when you're sick. So try to have a good time being sick. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody got very sick as a dog, and all of a sudden we're trying to play positive and everything's okay.
Let me ask you a question. Are you grateful to be alive?
Oh, I love it.
Because you're almost for dead.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes you grateful you're still here, right?
Oh, yes,
That's
sir.
the good thing that came out of that really bad situation. So you say, wow, I got pushed over by my semi. I could have been dead. It was really terrible. The good news is I'm grateful to be alive. So that's the game.
That's the best thing, doctor. I mean, praise the Lord and everything because, actually the poor guy that threw us out of the road, it was a semi. The guy had a heart attack.
Oh, God. Is he okay?
That's what
Did he survive?
Yeah.
Thank God. Okay.
He went to the doctors and he just had a mild heart attack, actually a heart attack, and that's why he pushed everybody off the lane and they push us off the road.
But look what happened. It was potentially a tragic situation. You got bruised up, your ribs, different parts of your body. And that's a true bad story. But the rest of it, what's the best true story you can tell yourself about that is, I'm so grateful I'm alive. Thank God. So there's always that gain in the loss. At any bad situation, which is a true bad situation, there's something positive and good, or there's a gain. I'm thank you for sharing that because it allowed us to illustrate the point. Thank you, Tony.
That teach me, Doc. Then we should be grateful and thankful for every day. You know what I mean? Because that thing happened just like out of the nowhere. We were driving normally, and this guy we see this big old monster pushing us out of the way.
Well, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. You can't really even get close to being happy in life unless I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. You have to have that attitude because you're going to struggle, you're going to have hardships, you're going to have suffering. You have to say, well, I'm going through this, but I'm extremely grateful for the gift of trials and tribulations that bring me higher to God or bring me higher to my transcendent nature. I'm grateful. You actually have to get to a point, and it might sound like a hard ask, but you go this way or your life's not going to be what it could be. To be grateful for the struggle, grateful for the hardship, because so much otherwise you're going to wish your life away. Gee, when this part of my life is over, I'll be happy. When this stops, I'll be happy. When I can get there, I'll be happy. When this isn't this way, I'll be happy. You're just postponing it. You got to be able to see it in a different light. The other way is, even when you're suffering or you're going through a deep struggle, is to get a glimpse of something else. And the way you do that is this. You take a deep breath. I'm here now, right now. Enjoy the moment. Yeah. So you can be going through it, but you take a little breather, get a little glimpse of something else. A deep breath, a long exhale is what calms down the sympathetic nervous system. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which suppresses the sympathetic. Sympathetic nervous system is fight, flight, and anxiety. So you calm that down. Overall, it's good to try to do it 4 times an hour. And then I'm here now, right now. Enjoy the moment. Now, that gets you a little glimpse. Whatever you're going through in life, you're miserable or whatever, take a moment to just go to another dimension. At least you get a glimpse. That's another good way of dealing with the struggles and the suffering. You can still get that glimpse. It's still possible, whatever we're going through, to get 10, 15 seconds glimpse of something else. Thank you very much for that, Tony. Anybody else have anything you want to ask or say?
No, doctor. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I missed the last session.
No, don't worry. I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad you're alive. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that guy with the heart attack was just a little heart attack.
Yeah, but everything was good, and right now I'm so proud. And yeah, like we all got struggles, and I was listening to the beautiful what you're saying about struggles and the stuff. We all got.
Well, I would say you might have even this thought: God spared my life because there's a purpose for me.
It's a purpose, yes, sir.
I mean, that might be the reality. God, see, they didn't kill me. I got hit with a semi. I'm still here. God has a purpose for my life. Very good. Thank you for that, Tony. Anybody else have anything you want to ask or say?
No, just
anybody else? I'm asking anybody else. I know. You don't have. That's a good thing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. No, but it's one thing, and I promise to have a cup of coffee with you, and I'm gonna.
Anytime, stop by. We'll have a cup of coffee. Anytime.
Yeah, just
and that goes to everybody else here. Stop by. I'll make some coffee. We'll visit. No, I love it.
Number 2, I just want to compliment you how good you look.
For an old man, I'm doing all right. Thank you. And my wife just gave me a haircut this morning. That helps, believe me.
I'm very proud to hear, listen to you, all your teachings and everything. It's helping me a lot.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm really, really glad to hear that. I'm not the source of it. It really comes from the Holy Spirit. I follow those promptings, but I have learned how to articulate that, and that's been a privilege to be a spokesman for those impulses. But thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Very good to see you.
Thank you.
Hey, doctor, it's Joanne.
Joanne, always good to hear from you, Joanne.
This was a great topic because I am thankful for the power that I've gained from my struggles, because it's brought me to this group and it's brought me to my community. This is such a wonderful, healing, safe place to express yourself.
It is for all of us. It is for all of us. And it's a privilege for all of us to have the opportunity to be our true selves, to feel that we have the right to be ourselves, and that we have a right to be imperfect human beings who struggle. That is one of the main missions I have. We have the right to be imperfect human beings who struggle to live honorably.
Hi, doctor. It's Emily.
Emily, good. Wow, Emily, you made a lot of progress with yourself, Emily. Good going.
Thank you.
Thank you. My voice is still a little messed up, but
No, you sound good.
Thank you. I wanted to chime in, particularly, you were talking about struggle, and there was a lot of stuff that was coming to mind. But one of the things you said, like everybody struggles, like it's not a unique experience. We all struggle. And sometimes some people struggle more than others, it seems like some of us. And I do believe it's like the people who actually put themselves out there and live or actually care about bigger issues, topics, who maybe do struggle more. And I think it's, it's a gift and a curse at times, but as you get older, you learn from each struggle, each setback. It's like this wave that comes in, and you do gain power from it because the next time I'm going to get through this. And change also, like
and when you know somebody going through it, you can have compassion, and you can say, you'll get through it. Believe me, I've been there. I understand. Exactly.
Yeah. And so, like, one struggle stops, and, sometimes you have a little bit of a breather, and then maybe another struggle comes in, and it's just, you're more equipped, and yes, you can help people. And I think a lot of it comes from our resistance to change or letting go of control. And then there comes the breaking point where you're just like, okay, well, my well-being is more important than this change or holding on any longer. So I'm going to make the change. And then on the other side of change, a lot of times that struggle is more released.
Well, that's a very good point. When things are changing at work, in the family life, and any aspect of life, the change could be a threat, and the people struggle with it. They don't want to change. They fight to maintain the old way, and it just isn't working anymore. And that's a way of that. That's another form of struggle that goes on. It's universal. It's always been there. People always struggled against that, and always will. But at the same time, we're talking about struggle as a gift, and that's a different perception. Two things: struggle is normal. Struggle is a gift. Very important concept. It doesn't make struggles go away. It changes how we look at it.
And it is hard to see the gift of it when you're in it. Like I have a 13-year-old and I have a 15-year-old, and I'm a single mom for almost 10 years, and it's not easy. And I don't have parents that I live with or anything like that. And it seems like a battle at times with different stages, and it is such a gift to be a mom. And I know, like, with certain things, like these are tough years. And that people tell me, oh, you've been such a good mom. They're going to come back to you. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And like, there's things I know, like I feel in my heart, but it doesn't make the struggle easier at the time. But
let me address what you're saying, because you're bringing up a lot of good points. So you're in the struggle, raising two sons, and I know they're teenagers, and you're working with them, and then you were working, which made it even worse because you couldn't even be there with them. And you're alone with it. You're by yourself. That's the struggle of a single mom. Your mom and dad both. It's a struggle, no question about it. I know women have had 2-3 jobs and supporting her kids. It's a struggle. At the same time, the quest is to find the best true story about that struggle. So I'll ask you this question, Emily, dear Emily. What's the best true story you can tell us about this struggle that you have being a single mom raising those two boys?
The best thing is that just simply that I am a mom. I am so lucky. They mean so much to me. And I find joy in being a mom, even through the hard things, being able to teach them. That is the best.
Let me expand on that. That's true. Let me expand on it. Your sons, when they look back, to say, my mom worked, she took care of us by herself, she did so much for me. Believe me, they'll have more gratitude to you, more respect of you than if raised by two parents. They're going to be more respectful of you, and they look back to say, my mom was everything for us. And that's one of the gifts that will come from that. My mom struggled. She did what she had to do to take care of us. I didn't always like what was happening, but Mom took care of us. She took care of business. And you're a role model. They're going to benefit. See, right? You rose up. You took care of things. They say, When we struggle, we have responsibilities. We're going to stand up just like mom. So the best true story is they're learning from you about standing up and handling responsibilities. That's huge. And also the gratitude that will be in them. I know that. I've seen so many sons of single moms that raised them. And in every case, there was tremendous gratitude. I can tell you right now. Tremendous gratitude. Most of the time, the kids don't have that gratitude to the father. They just don't. It's not right, but they don't. But when a mom's by herself doing it, the respect is through the roof. The gratitude is through the roof. The loyalty it engenders through the roof. So that's the best true story. That's some of the good things that are coming from what you're doing now. And that's
thank you, doctor.
That's a reality that I can assure you of right now. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, Emily.
Can I just piggyback on that? And I know that she has 2 sons. I'm a single father. I have 2 daughters. Okay. And I am definitely the son of a very amazing woman who raised 3 boys by herself. And now there's 3 men taking care of a woman. You know what I mean?
Taking care of your mom.
Because we're definitely eternally grateful. So that's definitely going to come back to you. I'm sure you're raising some great boys.
Thank you.
I'm so appreciative of being able to be in my daughter's lives. I honestly, the best story that I can tell myself all the time is their dad's around, and that in and of itself, it just, they have wonder in their eyes still.
Wow.
7 and 2. And I'm trying to keep that wonder as long as possible before the earth grabs them. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it, Jerry. That's profound. I love the way you said that, before the earth grabs them. Very true. Very true. Thank you, Jerry, for that. And so you see, Emily, his mother raised 3 sons, and look at the gratitude and admiration he has for his mom. And that's what I'm telling you is coming for you. I guarantee it. I've seen it every time, without exception. I very rarely see it for the father, very rarely. But I've seen it for the mom. Thank you for sharing that, for Jerry and Emily. Thank you. Who else has something you want to ask or say?
Hey, doctor.
There
Jeffrey Hernandez.
Jeffrey, pleasure to see you again, Jeffrey.
How's everything going, man?
All things human.
All right. I'll keep it short. Try to piggyback what Joanna, I think Jerry was they were talking about. Me and myself, I have a daughter, a teenager, 16-year-old. Keep it simple. The struggle is real. The way it is, it's like when you're struggling and when you fall, and when you fall hard, and if you know how to get up and continue to move forward, believe it or not, you're gonna learn from that fall. It's like I'm gonna put this like a little metaphor. When you get in a fight, whatever, you get your ass beat and everything. Learn how to lose. It's like, all right, get up, move forward, learn from it.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. So the way I see it is like even recently too, the experience with my daughter and everything. You know what? Right now it's like my little budget. I can't take you out anywhere else. So etc. And my daughter was like, I understand. I know you're gonna get yourself up again. I know how the way you are, Dad.
Well, that's admiration and respect. That's respect. That's respect when she knows you're gonna come back up, and that's a role model for her. When she falls, she saw Dad get up, and that's gonna have a tremendous effect on her to get up. That's a powerful lesson she's learning.
You get up and everything, move forward. don't let it drop you. don't stay dropped. Keep on, get up and
That's the human spirit. That's it. You don't stay down. You get knocked down, but you don't stay for the count of 10. Jeffrey, that's an awesome lesson. And that's what this whole thing's about. Is just that. Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm sure.
All right, Doctor. Well, good to see you.
Okay, good to see you, Jeffrey. Pleasure.
This is my first time talking about this.
No, I'm really glad you did.
I enjoyed this happen. You're like, hey, you know what? I could.
That's the universal story. That's the story of That's the story of life. That's the story of parenthood. That's the story of being a human being on the earth at this time.
All right, Doctor.
Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. Who else has something you'd like to ask or say?
Your struggles are either your teacher or your undertaker.
Wow. Hugh said your struggles are either your teacher or your undertaker.
And I mean that literally.
And he means it literally.
I know two people who let their struggles overwhelm them. They turned to booze and drugs and committed suicide.
You see, those two people that turned to drugs and alcohol, and they committed suicide. So for them, it was their undertake. That was their death. Yeah.
Every person you consider to be a great person has been an expert.
Everybody that you consider a great person has overcome struggles. That's it. The struggle is normal. Struggle is normal. Thank you for that, Hugh. And very, very true.
Everybody who goes through struggle, there's a point in time where you make a decision to either overcome the struggles or get into them. And I've been there. I've had to make the decision to not let my struggles overwhelm me.
Yeah, Hugh tells you he didn't let his struggles overwhelm him. I remember when his beloved wife, Cheryl, she had a stroke. She was in a coma. And I remember his calling me, and he wanted to go drink again. He used to have a drinking problem. But he overcame the struggle, and he went to Marie Callender's, and he got a cookie instead. And Cheryl went through experimental trial with something, and she survived for another 11 years. And he took very good care of those 11 years. But so his struggle was he wanted to booze because that's what he used as a coping mechanism for a good part of his earlier life. But he instead got a cookie at Marie Callender's. I remember it like it was yesterday, Hugh.
Yeah. So when you're going through your struggles, just remember that your struggles can take you to greatness.
Well, that's what the whole lesson is. The struggles, you say, can take you to greatness, and that's exactly the point. That your greatness is enshrined within your deepest struggle is the seed of your nobility, your destiny, and your legacy. In other words, your greatness. Exactly so, Hugh. Well said. Who else has anything? Thank you, Hugh. Who else has something you'd like to ask or say?
Well, it's a little different than the struggle. Well, it's part of the struggling, but the question I have is that I've been going through a lot lately is I've been waking up with anxiety, really bad. My worrying about a lot of things, pain, bills, struggling with work, just everything. And I don't know how to deal with it.
Okay, let me try to deal with it. Okay. My father used to say happiness is being able to pay your bills and not being in pain. So you just named two of the main things that my father would talk about, not being able to pay your bills and pain. Look, that's a tough situation. It's a very tough situation. What I'll tell you the best way to deal with it. You believe in God? I don't have an axe to grind either way. Do you believe in God?
No, I pray.
What's that?
I do pray.
Okay, pray. Okay. So your statement would be, God, I'm extremely grateful for the trials and tribulations that bring me closer to you. Take a deep breath. I would go through some cold water on your face. Get outdoors as soon as possible. The longer you stay in that room, the longer that stuff's just going to mull around in you. Get some cold water. Step out. You got to force yourself to do that. And then you go, God, I'm extremely grateful for the trials and tribulations that bring me closer to you. I know good will come out of this. It's a hard time for me, Lord, but I know good will come out of this. And you have to go there. Not that you're going to change your feeling. You do your deep breathing. Cold water. Get out of the house where you're getting some fresh air and you're not confined by the walls. And you tell yourself these things that I'm saying. Will it make your anxiety totally go away? No. Will it help a lot? Yes. It will. And your suffering and your struggle is very real. But there's going to be a lot of good that will come out of it. Does it make you turn to God more the way you're suffering?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the point. See, when things are going well, people don't turn to God as much or sincerely. But that struggling does that. So one of the great things that happen is you're turning more to God. So this is what I recommend. The deep breathing, cold water on your face, get out of the house, walk, recite your commands of honor, do your prayers as you're walking. That'll all help you. And text me anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime, night or day.
Yeah, because like lately I get up, I literally wake up before I'm supposed to wake up. Like I literally wake up 3 hours earlier than I should.
That's early morning awakening, one of the signs of anxiety, yes.
Yeah, I wake up with major anxiety.
Yeah.
My brain won't shut off. It's really bad.
Well, I told you what things to do with that. That's a tough situation. That's a very tough situation, but I gave you ways to deal with it constructively that will help.
Okay.
It won't totally cure it, but it will help.
Okay.
I appreciate you sharing that because I've known a lot of my patients wake up the same way.
Hi, Dr. Nerenberg.
Yes.
Hi, this is Bernice, and I just wanted to let the former person that was just speaking know that I've been there and you get through it. And with the help of Dr. Nerenberg and the breathing and saying your commandments, it really does help. And I went through this like panic phase before even knowing the program. So I know it's a struggle and it's normal. It's real and it's normal and you can find your way out.
You want to speak that little bit of light into darkness. Bernice, I'm really glad you spoke up. You've always been such a wise person and deep. And so this confirms the reality of waking up with anxiety.
Mm-hmm. I had that.
Listen,
Yeah.
I've had time in my life where I'd wake up in the middle of the night with something on my mind. I'd be anxious. I would follow what I'm saying. I didn't throw cold water in my face, but I'd get out of the house and start praying and doing the commands of honor. Thank God I haven't had it in a long time, but I've been there. So struggle is normal. Suffering is normal. I've been there myself more often than I would have liked at the time, but I have no complaints about it. But I know what it's like to not only not wake up with anxiety, but to wake up in the middle of the night. You need to get outside to get some air from it. So I've been through these things, which are not because I've suffered myself very intensely, mostly caused by myself, by the way. And so that's why I can help you. That's my foundation for my being able to help you is because all things human. When people say, how you doing? I say, all things human. So we're going to suffer here. We're going to struggle. And the only people that don't struggle, well, they're in the cemetery. All the rest of us are still walking around. We're going to struggle. Thank you, Bernice. Thank you so much for.
You're welcome, and I wish her the best, and to do her best to, it's a struggle, and she's going to struggle to do those steps, but she's got it. She's gonna be okay.
Yeah, people say they can't throw you in jail for unpaid bills.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can I add something to that, Doc, if you don't mind?
Yeah, Jerry, please.
Everybody doesn't mind. I don't need to keep taking the microphone, but the woman, I forget her name, that she was just speaking that was having anxiety. She woken up. I have definitely been there, and not just to relate to you, but I have literally been there where I cannot go to sleep. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, I'm literally crying my eyes out, frustrated, hitting my own body, like, go to sleep. How can you be so exhausted and not being able to sleep? Like, it's almost impossible. And and it got to the point where I would literally, a grown man, okay, close to 40 years old, I would have to hold my brother's hand just so I can go to sleep. Okay, well, because there was this crippling anxiety. And, a long time ago, I would be too shy or ashamed to even say these things out loud. I even had to, I cuddled my mom, a grown man. I cuddled my mom just so I can take a nap, and it was so frustrating and so humbling, because what, the people that, my brother, for example, held my hand, my mom, who's just like, they didn't look at me any kind of way other than, hey, I'm here for you. And
that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
It was such a shock. It was such a shock that they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, I wasn't met with like, what's wrong with you? Like, just go to sleep. And, a lot of people that don't know anxiety would just say, well, hey, just relax. It's like, no, it's not that simple. And I'm sure this woman knows. So I just want to tell her that what she's going through, even though it is probably excruciating for her, it's not unique. It happens to a lot of us.
Jerry, let me interrupt you for a moment.
To ask for help, talk to somebody. The more you talk about it, and it's super easy to people tell you just go out and exercise, and it is that easy, and it's just that hard.
Now listen, Jerry. Let me interject something.
But you will get through it, and you got this.
Well, Jerry. No, sharing the vulnerability and the struggle is a beautiful thing. That's a great gift you gave us, a great, great gift. I mean, Jerry's this big, hulking guy. You saw a lot of people feel intimidated, but he's admitting that aspect of himself, which we all have. I remember there was a time when I was taking, this was about 20 years ago, and I was going through some medical procedures, and I woke up at night one day in a panic attack. It was physiologically caused, but I couldn't control it. And so I went to my wife, and I couldn't control it. I held her hand. I said, "Just look at my eyes." I held her hand. I said, "Just look at my eyes. Just look at me." Sometimes I could see her look at me. I would feel like I'm not here. I held her hand, and it did. And then it passed. So sometimes when we're so desperate, we just need that help from another human being, if it's possible. Now, some people don't have that brother around, the wife around, the mother don't have that, so they're by themselves. That's even rougher. But there's sometimes when we just need another human being there. We all need each other. So that's another reality. Sometimes just so overwhelming, so overpowering that it's so threatening at the moment. I mean, that panic attack was just, I haven't had it once since, but that was physiologically induced, but it was terrifying. So yes, when you say we all go through it, I've certainly been through it, but I'm glad I went through that panic attack. I'm very glad. Why? Because I can understand you. A lot of my patients have panic attacks. Well, I understand. I mean, Hugh's been through panic attacks in his life. I know when he's had. He's going, huh? Yeah. So, but I wouldn't understand it if I didn't have it. So, I'm a better human being and a better psychologist because I did go through it. I've known desperation. I've known what it is to be desperate and feel totally out of control. I know the experience, and I'm grateful for it. Very grateful. Well, he was saying how many great people have filed bankruptcy. They say the average millionaire went bankrupt 2 times. So that was the average years ago.
There's no shame in getting to a point where you can't handle your bills because situations change.
He was saying there's no shame in not being able to pay your bills because situations change. There's no shame in being desperate and out of control for a period of time. There's no shame in that either. As long as we seek ways to emerge and move forward, but for some period of time we might be disabled by it.
I was overwhelmed by medical bills to where I had to hide from processing.
Oh yeah, you had medical bills years ago where he was hiding from processing. Anybody knock on his door, he wouldn't answer. He wouldn't answer the phone. He went through these things. So and he was a guy who was a captain in the Air Force, worked at NASA on spacecraft or one thing or another, but yet he was electrocuted one time at a job, and he was at his room for over 3 years and didn't leave the room. So this is the things, this struggle is normal, absolutely normal, absolutely normal. I think another time I remember one time I was going through some really severe problems. I called my best buddy, got him on the phone about 3 a.m. I said, "Stay on the phone with me. I just want to hear your voice." I listened. Eventually I fell asleep. I was really going through something very, very severe at the time. So, and I'm glad I went through it. I'm very glad I went through it, because if I didn't go through it, how would I understand you? I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to understand what Jerry just said. I wouldn't be able to understand you, Jerry, if I didn't go through that. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I went through it. And I want you to be grateful for what you're going through. You don't have to wait till after to be grateful, but while you're in the middle of it, say, I'm grateful for this because I know good's going to come out of it. It's going to bring me closer to God. I'm going to see more wisdom. I'm going to have more compassion. It's going to make me more humble. I'm not getting those benefits now, but I know they're coming. Very good. Very good. Who else has
I stopped having panic attacks when I said, because, at first you think you're going to die.
Yeah.
Right? I stopped having panic attacks when one time I was having one and I said, yeah, whatever. You're not going anywhere. I'll see you later. And then they just stopped.
Wow. That's a good story. That's a good one. Now, people go to the ER room with a panic attack. They have them breathe into a brown paper bag for about a minute, and that calms it down. Who else has something you'd like to ask or say before we conclude?
While you're going through anxiety is the time you should take the best care of yourself, physically and spiritually.
Yeah, he was saying that when you're going through that anxiety, take good care of yourself spiritually and psychologically in every way. And he's got plenty of experience with that. Plenty of experience with it. Absolutely.
Make sure that you're eating well. Make sure that you're taking care of your health. Making sure you're taking care of your spiritual.
Well, you know what helps you when he was going through it? It was a doctor said, have some yogurt. And so Hubie took the yogurt and he was able to leave that room. Within a very short period of time, he needed the probiotics. There's a place for probiotics with kefir, yogurt. You can take probiotic pills or fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, so forth.
Have everybody look up on Google. The kefir helps with anxiety. You can find it on Google.
Yeah, he was saying that you can go on Google kefir, Kefir, and you Google it, kefir helping with anxiety. So that's one thing you could try. Having your kefir could make a difference. Most of the time we try these things, they don't work. But sometimes the thing really works, like it did in Hugh's case. I mean, changed his life. Yogurt. And only one doctor told him about that. It was a chiropractor. Well, it's my pleasure, my deep enjoyment to present No One Escapes the Struggles of Life. There is a solution.